Village of Sayward respectfully acknowledges that we are gathered on the land of the unceded territory of the Comox First Nations, the traditional keepers of this land. Call the meeting to order. Introduction of late items. CAO.
Do you have a late item, sir?
I do not. Do you?
I don't.
Okay.
I was under the impression you did.
Oh, we're going to add that to the in-camera. Forestry? Is
I
that what
didn't
you're
know
talking
it was
about?
in camera, but
No, sorry, we're talking about the letter in camera, right?
no, you came to me and you wanted to speak about forestry. Yeah.
Yes. We'll add that under mayor's report. Oh, I have an A and a B. That's very true. A and B. Okay. Approval of agenda as amended. Everybody good with that? Minute? Ooh, sorry. Did that work? It's worth a shot. Okay, recommended resolution that the minutes of the regular council meeting that was held on the 24th of January 2023 be adopted. Motion, please.
I'll move that.
Second,
I'll second that.
discussion. All in favor? Opposed? Seeing none, carried. And that the minutes of the committee of the whole meeting that was held on January 31st, 2023 be adopted. Motion, please.
I'll move that.
I'll second that.
Discussion. All in favor? Opposed? Seeing none, carried. Petition delegations, none. Correspondence. Recommended resolution that the correspondence A through C be received. Do I have a motion, please?
I'll move that.
Second,
I'll second it.
discussion. All in favor? Opposed? Seeing none, carried. Council reports. None. Reports of committees. None. Mayor's report. Oh, sorry. Reports of committee. Councilor Bichette.
Don't we have item B and C for correspondence?
The recommended resolution that was A to C be
Okay.
received.
My apologies.
No problem. Did you need to discuss? Nope. Okay. Problem. We'll go back to mayor's report. The mayor, me, what I'm looking at is designating a second public question period to the beginning of all regular council meetings and committee of the whole meetings. It's a verbal. What I'd like to see happen again for the last 2 years, we've had the one meeting at night after the meeting. I'd like to see us bring it back again and see if we can get some more public engagement. We haven't had the reason why it was taken away is far different than it is now. And I think it's an important part for our community to come and voice their concerns and to be able to speak regarding the agenda prior to being voted on. And then at the end of the meeting, that can be a whatever discussion. We can limit it to, say, 3 minutes per person or something like that, but it's up to the chair to control if anything is going sideways on that. And in the last 2 years, we have had really no issues with the public behaving at a council meeting. So I personally feel it would be beneficial to bring back. So my recommended resolution is that the council brings back the public question period at the beginning of all council meetings and committee of the whole meetings. Do I have a motion on that, please?
I will move that.
Second,
I'll second that.
discussion. Councillor Gilkin.
Gulkin.
I was so close. Sorry.
Um,
Gilkin.
it's gonna be another 15-minute one, right? Before?
Correct.
Same, okay, thank you.
Same at the end, but different. Councillor Burchett.
And why the 3 minutes instead of the usual 10, just out of curiosity or?
There's never been 10.
Oh, okay, that's. the
It
max.
used to be 2. It used to be a total of 2 minutes
Okay,
per person. And
Okay.
if time allowed, they were allowed that second opportunity to ask a question. The 10 minutes was for presentations for delegations,
okay.
is how that worked out.
Yep, great,
Councillor
thank you.
Tinsley.
So just to clarify, so it would still be a maximum of 15 minutes. So if there's only one person, it's not going to be 15 minutes. I would suggest that if we have a 2-minute limit, which I think we do on both of them, don't we?
We do on the first one, yeah,
On just the first one, right?
on the one at the end of the meeting.
Yeah, my suggestion would be that they both be the same. Because I think that's
Okay.
cleaner for everyone to remember. Otherwise, we're going to get back and forth of,
Sure,
yeah, that would be my only suggestion. Thank you.
okay. Councillor Polson?
Yes, thanks. The question period at the beginning is to discuss issues about what's on the agenda for that evening.
Correct.
And the second one is for anybody to discuss any issue that concerns them.
Correct. And concerns council.
Okay.
Well, no,
Yeah.
sometimes they want to discuss stuff that we have no control over, so I just would.
Okay. Just wanted to clarify that. Thanks.
Good. So that's discussion. All in favor? Oh, sorry, CAO.
I just ask if we could include in the resolution the number of minutes that if I've heard you discuss 3 or 2. So I'd just like to ask if you could include in the resolution the number of minutes per.
2 minutes was what was agreed upon. So 2 minutes at a maximum. They have the opportunity to ask a second question if time permits. Same format as we have at the other question period. Oh, all in favor? Opposed? Seeing none, motion is carried. Sorry, CAO?
So just, your worship, just so that we understand, we'll be bringing a bylaw amendment back to council for the normal process, first, second, third readings, final readings.
Okay. So next motion is that council prepare an amendment to the procedural bylaw. Sorry, staff, what did I say? Oh, why doesn't staff do it then? Yeah, well, let staff do that for the next council meeting. Motion, please.
I'll move that.
Second,
I'll second that.
discussion. All in favor? Opposed? Seeing none, motion's carried. So at the next meeting, we can do first, second, third, right?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So the council procedure bylaw normally has to go to the public for feedback. Normally. Now, if it's something small like this, it may not have to go to the public. So I'm just going to have to investigate the process
Fair enough.
and I'll let council know. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, second part is regarding forestry. We talked before about the letter and getting the group of North Island chiefs, council mayors, chairs, and SRDs, pardon me, RDs, and hospital boards on favor for lobbying the government regarding the healthcare. Also, the second part to that is forestry. I mean, yes, it's two separate things, but however, forestry also is impacting the entire island, but primarily north. So we would like, I need a recommended resolution from council to have this group also look at forestry in the top two or issue that we might be able to lobby for, which looks like from from all accounts and all the research that I've done, and we're just waiting back from TLA, but it is the AAC that is the problem, the allocated cut, allowable cut is the issue, because they're not giving them, before it was done over a short period of time, the allowable cut, so they could devise whatever resources and staffing and everything else and budgets. But now it's up to 90 days or longer, and there's issues. The same thing with permitting. So this is something that I believe collectively as a North Island, again, our voice is going to be stronger. So I need a recommended resolution from council stating that you give me the authority to go ahead with forestry with this group. Motion,
I'll move that.
second,
I'll second that.
discussion. Councillor Burchett.
Yeah, we're gonna get some more specifics, exactly, and information regarding how to make a decision on this. So
Sorry, could you
Can we
make
get
a
some-
decision on what?
on what's gonna be proposed in the letter. So the information on allowable cuts and practices and things, so we can make a decision. So information is basically what I'm asking for.
Yeah, there will be, I'm sorry, I thought you were, it's been, ongoing issue. I will bring back information to council to look at and understand which direction.
Perfect, thank you.
Councillor Paulson?
Yeah, thanks. Did we not receive an email about a forestry alliance just today or yesterday? I felt.
No, there's Kofi. There's Kofi that's happening in Prince George. And, but I haven't seen anything on,
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead. Councillor Tinsley?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I think Councillor Paulson might be referring to, there's a society around forestry or something like that that sent us something about the amount of, various things they've helped with in terms of forestry and use of forest. So we've received that, I think, today or yesterday.
Yeah, this is different.
Yeah.
Sorry, CAO?
I just wanted to clarify, that I think the information Councillor Paulson is referring to, there is a report from an organization that we received today. There are copies of the reports in
desk.
council's office for your review. I'm sorry, I don't have the details of the organization front of mind right now.
Yeah, this is all the political governments, all the local governments from Indigenous governments. Same thing as we're doing with healthcare. Councillor Tinsley?
I'm supporting the concept. I seconded it, but one of my concerns, I guess, is per Councillor Burchett's question, is we want to support the message about supporting forestry as an economic business in the North Island. And I believe all parties are interested in that, but we have to be, in my opinion, careful about where we stand on certain issues, because that industry, as well as many industries, are going through major changes that are required. So I think in our discussions, we have to be really considerate of that. There's a number of factors involved beyond the two items that were mentioned.
Yeah, we're not looking at discussing or getting into old growth or anything like that. We're talking strictly for Thrive, for example. Okay, that's on permitting. The time received on approving cutting permits have gone from 30 to 60 days. Average time in 2020-21 to over 60 to 90 to 120 days now. And that's on permitting. Let me in order for the forestry economy to thrive, those working and rely on the forest industry require a predictable, supportive operating environment regarding the allowable cut, the AAC. The predictability of AAC is, this would be in the letter that you guys would receive, provides a core base of predictable outcomes, is critical both from capital investment from labor growth perspective, integrated resource management planning, and forest landscape planning are critical requirements to obtain predictability needed within the AAC. Councillor Bichette?
One thing that wasn't mentioned there is environmental. Maybe the environmental concerns and reports might take longer. There might be different protocols now as opposed to even a couple years ago with regards to that. So there's much information that we can get on this, the better to make a decision.
Councillor Tinsley?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, I think we're all talking the same talk. We just want, before we come to any particular points, we want to have a good discussion about what the message that will be sent that's agreed upon, or the group. I think that's the really important thing, because there's so many sides to the process beyond the ones that are painted in those messages. So
Okay, yeah.
that's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, it would be the same thing as we're doing with healthcare. We're not getting into the weeds. In healthcare, we're hitting on the main topics, and that's it. Main one, as far as I'm concerned. CAO?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I think what I'm hearing is that perhaps council just wants to have a bit more information before they just give carte blanche permission for us to proceed. May I suggest that perhaps you and I work together on putting together a bit of a draft letter to start the conversation with council, and unless time is of the essence, maybe we do that in time for the next council meeting, or given our current workload, perhaps the council meeting after that, just for your consideration.
I would like, because you're talking about a month to 2 months before you guys have any free time, correct? Because you guys are tied up for the next couple of months with strategic planning and the budget.
Well, we're busy with those projects, but that's not to say that I couldn't make some time to work with you around receiving a draft letter from you. Yeah. And
Or misunderstood from before, when the timelines were tight in terms of your workload. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll gather all the information. The CAO and I will sit down formally. We'll bring it back to council. Okay. So the council receive and discuss the public question period for Volber report, and B, regarding forestry, from the verbal report from the mayor. All in favor, or pardon me, let's go for motion first.
I'll move that.
Second,
Second that.
discussion. All in favor? Opposed? Seeing none, carried. Unfinished business. None. Staff reports. Yes. Well, up to her, but yeah.
So we'll just have the minutes show that Councillor Paulson has left the room, recused herself at 7:18 due to a conflict of interest with staff report item A, the memorial plaque for former Mayor John McDonald.
Okay. So in discussion, everybody's had the chance to read. So the memorial plaque for the former mayor, John McDonald, the council receive and discuss the supplier's proof of the memorial plaque for the former mayor, John McDonald. So to receive that, do I have a motion, please?
I'll move that.
I'll second that.
Discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Seeing none. And where we actually have the discussion is council or approve the supplier proof for authorization for staff to order the memorial plaque. Motion, please.
I'll move that.
Discussion? Second, sorry, let's go second first.
I'll second that.
Perfect. Discussion. Sue is okay with this wording. The only thing that seems a little, I don't know if it could have been worded differently or whatever else, was John's spirit is around us and this is a good place to live. Very last. Good place to be. Yeah. I don't know. I just thought the wording was a little off. Councillor Burchett.
Ideally, I believe Sue would have the last word on the plaque, if she's okay with that. It could be a personal meaning to them, her. My thoughts.
Dale. Do you have anything to add to that? Do you?
No, I don't have anything to add.
Okay, so I'm the only one who sees it. Councillor Tinsley?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. When I reference that word, I reference it back to dedicates this area, right? So this area, it's, you know,
Okay.
remembrance. That's how I related
Okay.
B to.
Councillor Gilkin, what do you think?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I did catch that too. I do agree with Councillor Burchett that Sue should have the final word on.
Well, we're passing this right now.
Right, yeah. Well, I believe what Councillor Scott said. I think
And
that,
we're also paying for a majority, but
yeah,
okay, Councillor Burchett?
Yeah, I mean, you could replace good with great, the wording, but again, I would like to bring Sue into this part, if we're done with the financials for.
We're not done with the motion, so we can't go
Okay.
into this part. So we'll just ask the CEO to clarify the wording with Councillor Paulson later. Okay. The biggest thing is more the money.
Mr. Mayor, can you just pause in terms of proceeding? Corporate officers just checking to see if we actually have a resolution on file regarding this as being listed as a 2023 item, or pardon me, this as being an item included in the 2023 financial plan. It was noted in a previous staff report that it be added to the 2023 financial plan. We're just making sure that we have that as a resolution. If we don't, then we'll probably just get you to make that motion tonight, that this item be included in the 2023 financial plan.
Okay, but we can move the motion that council approves of supplier proof and authorize staff to speak to Councillor Paulson for clarification on the wording, and then order the memorial plaque. Do you have a motion, please?
I'll move that.
Second,
I'll second it.
discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Seeing none? Carried. So now Councillor Paulson can come back. Is Councillor Paulson returning? Oh, okay.
Okay. If you could, if you don't mind, I'd just like to change the motion that staff speak with Mrs. Paulson as opposed to Councillor Paulson.
That's fine.
Okay. And if you could make an additional motion that staff add this item, the cost of the memorial plaque of $2,500 to the 2023 financial plan. we would appreciate that.
So I have a motion to add the $2,500 to the 2023 financial plan. Do I have a motion, please?
I'll move that.
Second,
I'll second that.
discussion? All in favor? Oh, hang on, sorry. Did you put your hand up? No? All in favor? Okay, opposed? Motion is carried. Okay. Did you go back again? Just. Okay, continuing on with 11B. The council received the 2023 strategic and financial planning report for process. Motion, please.
I'll move that.
Second,
I'll second that.
all discussion. All in favor? Opposed? Seeing none, carried. And that the COW meeting planned for February 14th at 7 p.m. be rescheduled to occur at 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. And that the COW meeting planned for February 28th at 7, pardon me, a COW meeting be planned for February 28th at 7 p.m. and another COW meeting planned for the COW meeting that was planned for March 7th be canceled. Council meeting, the council meeting. I should actually look at it, eh? There you go. The council meeting planned for March 7th be canceled. Do I have a motion, please?
I'll move that.
Second,
I'll second that.
discussion. Councillor Burchett.
Is it essential that we cancel the March 7th meeting, or is it just because of workload with staff or conflict scheduling?
DAO.
Yes, Councillor Bichette, the suggestion is being made to manage workload.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? Nope. CAO.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Staff just want to clarify, or perhaps even introduce for the first time, that it's our intention that the COW on February 14th be a closed meeting. So that's going to be a meeting to discuss our service levels, etc. And that meeting will be closed. And of course, then we'll have the financial planning meetings that will be open, and elements of the service planning will be, of course, discussed at those meetings.
That was all in favor. We already did all that, right? Oh, we did discussion. All in favor? Opposed? Seeing none, carried. Number 12 is nothing. 13, bylaws. Revenue anticipation bylaw, number 493, 2023, be given fourth and final reading. Do I have a motion, please?
I'll move that.
Second,
I'll second that.
discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Seeing none, carried. And the remuneration amendment bylaw 494, 2023, be given fourth and final reading. Do I have a motion, please?
I'll move that.
Second,
I'll second that.
excellent. Discussion. Councillor Burchett.
Yeah, did everyone get the mileage sheet that I put in your mailboxes there? Just wanted to see if we could discuss that and possibly direct staff to see where we line up with the provincial averages.
I recall CFO saying at one point if the government rates do not increase and our rate is higher than the government rate, then it becomes a tax, the difference becomes a taxable benefit. Is that correct, CFO? Isn't that what you said? Possibly. Is that in fact the case? Yeah, okay. So we don't know if the government rates have increased or. Okay, so why don't we have I'm sorry. Go ahead, CEO.
I just wanted council to know that any changes to the mileage are not tied to the remuneration bylaw. So we could proceed with the remuneration bylaw tonight as planned. And if Councillor Burchett or anybody else wants to explore mileage increasing, decreasing, I'm not sure what the flavor of the day is, mileage, then we could pursue that as a separate item at another meeting, or
Could that not be a councilor's report?
we've passed that section in the agenda for
I
tonight,
understand that. I'm talking about for the next meeting.
for any meeting, yes.
Okay, so what I would suggest is you come back with a resolution that you would like to see and say that this be raised to this amount or whatever else, and then we can discuss it at that point. Does that work for you, Councillor?
Yeah, that's fine. I just wanted to make sure that we're all aware of where we stand and yeah, get some.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so all in favor? Councillor Burchett?
Yeah, so one thing I'd like to add to here is any committees that we are involved with that are non-paid committees, would that be a non-remuneration item, or is that something that we can discuss now? Or is that another resolution?
Earlier would have been like, but what happens is most of the committees that you're on are paid, and the ones that are not paid, like Saver Futures, for example, is a paid committee. The library board, it's not a paid committee. Oh, sorry, I lied. The library board I know is not a paid committee because that's against their mandate. We can look at in the future, what a lot of places do is whatever is not paid by those groups is paid by the municipality. But then we get into regulating how many meetings per month that is, because some, all of a sudden, if they decide to have 3 or 4 meetings in that month, that becomes cost prohibitive to the municipality, right? Councillor Burchett?
Yeah, I agree with that if there's a lot, but just in my situation here, I have 6 meetings with My Flag down in Campbell River, which is a minimum 2-hour driving time.
My Flag isn't paid?
Not that I'm aware of.
That's, from what I understood, My Flag was a paid, and they cover mileage and all that.
They have never presented me with anything with regarding mileage
Can you
nor.
talk to them,
Yeah, I can ask about that for sure.
please, and then bring it back to the next meeting if that's.
Yep, just my concern being that ties up 6 hours of my day, and which is fine. I'm glad to do that. But if it doesn't allow me to be paid for my other job, or if I have to take time off from other work, then I see it as an issue.
Okay, we'll bring that back to the next council meeting, but I'm sure, I believe My Flag is paid and your expenses is covered on that. So what we can do, double check with that, or we can have the staff double check. Okay, we'll have the staff double check on that for you. Do you need a motion on that? No? Okay. And then at the next meeting, we can take a look at what's paid and what's not paid and how council wants to approach that. Councillor Burchett?
Thank you for clearing that up. And I do enjoy a lot of volunteering time too with, say Sayward Futures, and that's not a paid position either. And I'm happy to volunteer a lot, but I just wanted to make sure we clear this up and we're all on the same page, and just with other people that have committees that aren't paid, if they're taking time away from their other job or income, that it should be looked at.
Yeah, we have to be somewhat careful because I know with, like, for example, when I was involved heavily with the North Island mayors, we're meeting, especially in the heavy part, we're meeting once a week, every 2 weeks. And to get paid $100 or 160 or whatever it is for those kind of meetings, to me, part of that was the cost of doing business for being mayor, right? Or for being on council, you have those extra responsibilities that come with it. But we'll get all the information and bring it back at the next council meeting. CAO?
So just for clarity, are we going to move the fourth reading of this bylaw
Yes.
to the next meeting?
No, we're going to do the fourth reading because we can do an amendment if something comes up.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, all in favor? Did you?
Sorry, yes, sorry.
Opposed? Okay. Motion is carried. Code of Conduct, that the Code of Conduct Amendment Bylaw 495, 2023 be given first, second, and third reading. Do I have a motion, please?
I'll move that.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Do I have discussion? Do I have all in favor? Opposed? Seeing none? Motion is carried. New business, none. Public question period. Do we have anyone? No. It doesn't have to be on what's been discussed. Okay, well, just a sec. You, the purpose of the couple, everybody got that? Hey, the purpose of the question period is to enable citizens to ask questions to council that an issue is that important to the citizen asking the question. Speakers are asked to limit their question to one. And if time permits, everyone might have the opportunity to ask a second question. Citizens are asked to state their name and address. And you have 2 minutes, please.
My name is Monica Hawks. I live at 290 Ambleside. And my concern is with the park area that's beside me, the drainage ditch. Because when we have the water and the snow runoff on our side of the street, it runs on the road and into that culvert rather than through the drainage ditch. My concern is now there's so much sand and gravel, the tunnel is starting to get blocked. And because they haven't cleaned out that ditch for, I'd say, 5-10 years at least, when they do it, you know, I would like to see them do it as a concern for our well-being for when the floods get bad and that becomes an active water flow. And the other concern with it is when they do it, if they could make a wide enough area when they're clearing it, because the other side of the road has no walking area. Right now, we don't mind seeing people walking on the streets, but as a community growing in the future, if that part of the ditch was widened and they put in some rocks and made it a walkway, it makes it safer for the people walking the dogs and the children when that job is done. So in summation, I'm just curious when they do the parkland, you know, when Parks and Rec gets in there, and hopefully they'll do it this year, they clear it out and try and build a pathway. That's what I'd like the council to consider.
May I make a suggestion that tomorrow you give our CAO a call? That's an operational matter. And he can review that with you and they can come up and they can talk to, he could talk to Public Works and get a plan together for you. CAO?
That's a great suggestion, Mr. Mayor, but I can save you a phone call and I will ask staff to contact you in the next few days, maybe tomorrow, maybe Wednesday, or tomorrow is Wednesday, maybe Thursday, or maybe Friday, but just depending on their workload, but we'll get to you.
Okay. And
Okay?
that's basically, it was concerned because it was filling up fast.
Yeah. And just anytime you have that kind of concern, please feel free to come into the office and, or give a call to the staff here. They'd be more than happy to look after you.
I sort of got a head shake and I don't know if he understood what I was talking about, but I just sort of took
Okay.
it as I've been shown on, and that's okay, you know.
Okay.
So I have tried that approach and I have talked to
Okay.
him. He said, yeah, we'll look into it. And that's as
Okay.
far as that. So that's.
Our CEO will make sure he looks after it.
Get Due attention, I think is important.
Excellent. Understood. Thank you. CEO?
I guess just as a final comment, I will speak with the Public Works Manager about the drainage concerns, and then the path forward from there, no pun intended, the path forward from there will sort of reflect our normal service standards. I appreciate the residents has a bit of a wish list in terms of what the infrastructure could look like, but we'll do what we typically do for maintenance and for drainage and such.
Thank you. Do we have anybody online? No? Okay. That's it. So in camera, in accordance with section 92 of the charter, this council meeting will be closed to the public in order to council give considerations to matter in accordance with the following sections of the community charter, which is 91K. Okay. Do I have a motion, please?
I'll move that.
Second,
I will second that.
discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Thank you. It is carried. Adjournment